Hello, guys. Look at me, all kitted up. Hari, how do you feel?
Hey man, all I'm gonna say, si senor, si senor.
Poda.
Plot Malaysia.
Hello, welcome to the Plot Malaysia. This is the show for the fans.
By the fans.
Yeah. Hari, how are you feeling, man? Over the weekend, of course. Today's what? Today's Wednesday. How are you feeling, man? Over the weekend and stuff.
Good man. It was started off really badly. I suppose the weekend. When I
Mm,
said it started off badly, it started off in the Liverpool game, right? Started off really badly for us,
mm.
obviously for obvious reasons. And then I thought it was going to be a miserable weekend and miserable week. But then by the end of it, man, it was good. And to be honest, I was still disappointed by the end of it because we should
Mhm.
have walked away with 3 points and we didn't. But yeah, anyway, guys, we wanted to review the games from the weekend, especially the big games. It's a short show. We want a midweek show, but we want to talk
And
about very
Mo Salah
quickly.
needs a pair of glasses. Go on, Hari.
So yeah, Mo Salah may need a pair of glasses, but I mean, it was a good weekend. Ended up reasonably well for Liverpool with the comeback. Still disappointed because we should have won the game, but what a game it was, Ram. Probably the
Oh,
best
yep.
match of the season.
I
Probably one of the
enjoyed the
best
game.
Premier League games I've seen in a long, long time.
Yep.
In many years,
I enjoyed the game.
it was
Mhm.
a quality game of football, end to end stuff. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, man, great game. I don't know, as a neutral, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it had all the recipe for a good game, a good clash. Arsenal, of course, were dominant in the first half. And Liverpool came back very strong in the second half. And of course, no one expected the result to be of such, because when Arsenal's got two goals, you thought that's it. Game, set, match. Of course, when Liverpool pulled one back, then you knew, oh, they have a game in hands. We have the game in hands now. So I think I think it was a brilliant game overall. I think Liverpool showed, I think in the second half especially, that they wanted it more. They could have got the result. Arsenal were trying to defend the two goal lead, but yeah, I think they were just caught napping, and Liverpool snapped up the point. But I think if not for Salah's, like I said problem, I think Liverpool would have won the game.
I'm not going to blame it only on Salah, man. I think
Yeah,
Ramsdale made like 3 or 4 stunning saves in that game.
yeah,
Man of the
yes,
match, Aaron
he
Ramsdale,
definitely
man.
did. Yeah.
He made some absolute stunning saves, man, from Darwin Nunez. I think he made a brilliant save from Mo Salah as well. One of the best saves of the season, that one. And then he made a brilliant save right at the end from Konate.
Oh
Probably the
yes.
last move of the game, right? So,
Mm.
I mean, Salah obviously missing the penalty, but we should have won that game, man. It was a brilliant comeback, I thought. I think I mean, guys, give us your thoughts as well, viewers out there, and yeah, of course, do like and do subscribe to the stream as well, the channel as well. But I thought Arsenal started off like real champions, man. The
Yeah.
first 25 minutes, they dominated the game at Anfield. I've never seen any team really dominate us at Anfield like that.
They were Liverpool's
Uh,
half. It was
yeah, we couldn't
insane.
get out.
Yep.
We couldn't get
Yep.
out. They scored 2 good goals, 2 big mistakes, I would say, by Virgil van
Yep.
Dijk. But they scored 2 really good goals, and they just dominated the game. We couldn't get out of our half, and I thought it was
Mm.
going to be a long, long night. But then, I mean, Granit Xhaka
Yo.
did Granit Xhaka shoot Arsenal in the foot? Is what the question is, and I think 100% yes. You don't come to Anfield and rile up the crowd. Once you do that, it's a bear pit, man. And that's what happened to them. It turned into a bear pit after his confrontation with Trent. The whole crowd was fired up. The team got fired up very quickly. I think 1 minute after that, we scored a goal.
Yeah.
Should have scored a second goal before halftime as well. Henderson shot over the bar. And then the second
Mm.
half, man, it was all one-way traffic. It could have been 4 or 5 goals to
Yeah.
Liverpool.
But I wanna ask you, Hari, what do you
The
think about?
number of clear chances Liverpool had in that game were actually more than they had against United,
Yeah, I
according to
understand.
the
Understand.
XG.
Yeah,
So
I
it was
understand.
just Ramsdale at his best, and obviously we missed a penalty as well. Excuse me.
Okay, that's okay. I wanted to ask you a question. What are your thoughts about Trent Alexander-Arnold in that game? I mean, um, how do you think he fared in the game?
I think you got to see the good and the bad of Trent in that game. So
Mm.
Keshav, thanks for reaching out, man. Yeah, played one of their best second halves of the season and took full control. So, yeah, Konate should have scored. Konate should have scored. Salah should have
Yeah.
scored. A lot of players should have scored, man. Darwin Nunez should have scored as well.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, Trent, I thought you got to see the both sides of Trent in that game, man.
Yep.
The first 25 minutes, absolutely poor, out of position all the time. Martinelli had him on toast.
Yeah, that was
right?
that was what I thought as well. It's like he was able
Yeah,
to cross the
Martinelli
ball
had him
in
on
so
toast and all.
easily, So
But once Granit Xhaka fired him up, he was our man of the match. In the last 10 minutes of the first half and the second half, he was dominating the game. He was coming into the middle of the field, playing these brilliant balls into the box. He created the second goal for Liverpool. He was involved in the first, I think. He was involved in the Konate chance and creating that chance. He was dominant, man. He was our best passer on the ball in that second half. And yeah, I mean, Keshav is 100% right? Because I think they made a tactical switch in the second half. Klopp, he put Trent in a more of a inverted midfielder role, and then from there he dominated the game for us, man. He was brilliant, best player on the pitch for Liverpool. So yeah, I mean, you got to see two sides of him. The first half as a right back, defensively really poor. Once we started dominating, and once he can be more on the front foot, he's brilliant, man. He's one of the best players in the league and probably one of the best players in Europe in terms of ability. But he's just not a defensive player.
Okay, well said. Well said.
On the flip side, I would say Virgil van Dijk was really poor, man. His form is
He has
worrying.
been.
Yeah, well, form is worrying. He was poor, but Konate was world class.
Yep.
Ibrahimo Konate was brilliant, man. He was sweeping things up, making crunching tackles. He was good. I thought second half the whole team stood up, man. I thought Robertson played well in the second half. I thought Gakpo had a decent second half. I thought Jota played quite well. Thiago came on, made a difference in the second half as well. So yeah, I mean, all in all, quite pleased about the comeback. We were 2-0 down, coming back against Arsenal, and the fact that we probably should have won the game. Just disappointed we didn't get 3 points because we should have won it at least 4-2, I thought.
Well, I mean, it wasn't.
I think we got to see a different side of Arsenal in the game. You got to see the championship side of Arsenal, like proper champions, and then you got to see an Arsenal side that actually has got a soft underbelly, easy to get at. They got nervous in the second half. We were so dominant against them, and we created so many chances against them. So you can't even say the defense was good because we created so many chances against them, and we got to see a soft side of Arsenal and a nervous side of Arsenal, which tells me coming into the business end of the season, they look like they might be getting a little bit nervous. Which is why I fancy, like I told you last week, Ram, I do fancy City to win the league now.
Well, Hari, you can say that, I mean, but I'm not going to give up, and change what I thought. I think Arsenal will definitely take the title. And I think, they showed, okay, yes, they were not at their best against Liverpool, but they didn't lose the game, and they still have to play City, if I'm not mistaken, so I think
they have to play City at the Etihad, and I'll be very honest with you, having watched Arsenal yesterday, I thought Arsenal were good in the first 25 minutes, but I also think Liverpool were really bad. And once Liverpool woke up, Arsenal were not in the game. So that tells me that it was a combination of two things. They were not that good. Liverpool were really poor. And I think if they turn up and play like that against City, City will sweep the floor against them in Haaland.
I don't know.
In attack.
I don't know, Harry. I think Arsenal's going to win that game. I think Arsenal's going to.
I'm going to make a prediction now because they're playing at City. They're playing at the Etihad at City. I'm going to make a prediction now. City will win 4-0. They will dominate Arsenal and they will win that game very easily, very comfortably.
You're crazy. You're serious? 4-0.
I've seen the way City are playing now. They are in complete fire. They just beat Bayern 3-0 yesterday.
I'm going to go even crazier. I think Arsenal's going to beat City 3-1 at the Etihad.
Go for it, man. City just tore Bayern Munich apart yesterday as well, 3-0. They're just phenomenal. They're playing at home. Haaland's on fire. The team's on fire. I think they sweep the floor. If Arsenal play like they played against Liverpool, I think they sweep the floor against them. And remember, right, City also has a game in hand to Arsenal. So right now it's in their hands. If they beat Arsenal, they win their game in hand. They're level on points with a better goal difference. And then Arsenal also has to play Chelsea at home. They also have to play Brighton at home. And they have to play... And the big one.
The big one. Chelsea is not even a scary team, dude.
So then I haven't come to the big one yet. They have to play Newcastle away from home. Okay. And Newcastle have only lost one game at home this season against Liverpool. That's it. So I do
I
fancy
still
they will drop points as well.
No, I still think Arsenal will definitely beat those games. I think they will definitely win those games, and they will go all the way to the run-in, and they'll take the title. I think that is going to be a high possibility. And this is interesting, right, Harry? Because you feel City's going to win it, I feel Arsenal's going to win it, which sets up for a very, very good finale of the season in the title run-in. Let's see what happens. You guys, let us
No,
know. Yeah, tell us what you think. Let us know. Subscribe to our channel. We want to know what you think, and yeah, let's see who wins.
no, I like I said, I'm convinced City will walk away with this. They're just clicking into gear right now. On the flip side, from a Liverpool perspective, I just have to say, I think it shows you that Liverpool still have it in them. They probably can't produce a performance like that for 90 minutes because they have an aging team and they don't have the energy like they had before. But it tells you they can play like the second half. And that means with a few additions, now I feel a lot more comfortable with a few additions. I think if they add 2 or 3 midfielders in the summer, one defender, I think there'll be a force next year again, man. And remember that team, yes, that played against Arsenal was still missing Luis Diaz. Thiago also came in only, I think, in the 60th minute. And if you add a couple of midfielders to that, obviously the news broke last night that Liverpool have pulled out of the running for Jude Bellingham, so they won't go
Yeah.
for Jude Bellingham now. I'm actually happy about that. Funny enough, I'm actually happy about that because I felt if they threw all the money at Jude Bellingham, they would only have money for one player. But now I think they're doing the wise thing, in my opinion, because instead of throwing 100+ million pound on Jude Bellingham, Liverpool doesn't need one midfielder; they need 2 or 3 midfielders. So I'd rather they spend that money wisely on 2 or 3 midfielders and one defender instead of just one midfielder, because it won't be enough for us. So I'm actually glad they're doing that, because I'd rather they spend the money wisely and they beef up the squad instead of just one player. What happens if that one player gets injured? We're dead. So we can't do that. We are not in a position to do that as much as I like Jude Bellingham. So yeah, I think there are chances that obviously Jude. There are chances that Liverpool could be going in for Mason Mount. The rumor is they're targeting Mason Mount. They could be targeting Conor Gallagher. They could be targeting Ryan Gravenberch from Bayern Munich, Matheus Nunes, Nicolo Barella, who I'm a big fan of from Inter Milan. But there are quite a lot of targets they have in mind. So I'm actually glad about that news. Now it's up to the owners to go out and make sure we get the players. It's well and good saying we're not in for Jude Bellingham because we want to save the money for other players, but now they have to execute and get the players. If they don't, then I'm well and truly FSG out.
Okay, well said, Hari. There you go, Liverpool fan. If you guys feel the same like Hari, please let us know. Of course, you know how I feel about it. I don't really care, but but thank you, Hari, for all that load of information. That was just great, great to know. And of course, congratulations for not losing against Arsenal, and wish you guys all the best.
Wait, one quick thing we have to talk about before we move on to the United game, man. Did you guys see the linesman elbowing Robertson?
Yes, I thought that was ridiculous, man. I was
Yeah.
actually quite upset because how did actually, yeah, thanks for bringing it up, because how did VAR, or how did even any of the officials miss that out? And if that case does happen regularly, what is the punishment like?
No,
Does the referee get
I
a
can see people blaming Robertson for it, and saying why you approaching the referee in such a
but he approached,
furious.
he didn't use his hands.
No,
He could have
exactly, and that's my point. I can't believe people are even bringing that up, because all players, every player does that in every game. You see that.
Yeah.
It doesn't give the referee the right to raise his hand and hit someone on the chin with his elbow, right? So
Question, right, guys?
So
All the viewers
I'm
out
actually
there.
disappointed. Mitrovic just lifted his hand a little bit on the referee, and he was banned 8 games. And now the
Yeah.
people who are enforcing the law itself are elbowing people on the chin, and I just don't get it. It doesn't. No matter how aggressive a player is approaching you and talking to you about something, it doesn't give you the right to react like that. And I think he should be punished for that, because I don't think that's right. And yeah, should be
Yeah,
stopped. It should be taken out of the game.
so I agree with you, Hari, 100%. I think this referee's assistant, or whatever you call it, he's supposed to be punished. He needs to be punished. What do you guys think? What do you think should be the outcome? Because one side, Mitrovic is being punished for 8 games for actually approaching a referee and using his arms. But when a referee does it, does he deserve an equal amount of punishment? Let us know what you think, and we'll see, if this gets across to them. And of course, hopefully there is some proper governance, when it comes to these matters. So yeah.
Look, obviously, Eugene, are you Klopp out? No, man, I'm not Klopp out. I'm Klopp very much.
Hari will never be Klopp out, lah. No
I
matter
think,
what, lah.
No, I think Liverpool fans in general, just to give you guys a bit of I think Liverpool fans in general are not Klopp out. They're very much Klopp in. They're backing him. because obviously, I mean, FSG is the one who's at fault here, right? They have failed to refresh the squad. They have failed to invest in the squad, and Klopp is having to deal with it. But I'm going to obviously give Klopp the opportunity next year, because if we invest right, I think next year we'll be back again, man. We just need a few players, a bit of fine tuning, and then Klopp will have a proper side out again next year. I think you can see the talent there, man. You can see Robertson is still good. Trent has got ability still. Konate is brilliant. Van Dijk, yeah, he's slowing down. We need a central defender, another one. The striking options are brilliant, man. Jota, Luis Diaz, Bobby Firmino is leaving, yes, but we have Cody Gakpo, Darwin Nunez, Mo Salah, Harvey Elliott, Fabio Carvalho. The problem for us is midfield. It's very, very clear. So Ox is leaving, Keita is leaving. So I think if we get two or three midfielders in and maybe a centre back, and I think we're ready to go next year.
Okay, there you have it. There you have it. Okay, let's move forward.
I don't understand, Eugene. How can Robertson be punished, man? It's clearly nothing he did wrong. Every player approaches a ref like this, and a linesman at every game like this. I mean, if that's the case, you're going to keep punishing all the players in every game. It doesn't make sense. Okay. No chance,
What's
Eugene.
next?
No chance. I can almost clearly say we're going to beat you. Don't worry about it, man. We are going to beat Spurs at home at Anfield.
Eugene is just instigating about Klopp out, man. That's insane, dude.
Actually, this is a really good one by Keshav as well. Yeah, what do you think about Declan Rice? Yeah, I mean, I forgot to mention, I heard he's one of the targets as well. The problem with Declan Rice, he's going to be expensive as well. Just English midfielders, for some reason, they cost a bomb. Depending on what price we get him for, if we can get Declan Rice for £70 million,
no way.
If you can get him for 70 to 80 million pounds tops, actually 70 million pounds is more tops, then yeah, I'm in for Declan Rice. If not, I will opt for other players, because
90
cannot,
for sure.
No, yeah, but then we cannot afford to throw that much money on just one player, because the squad needs rebuilding. The midfield doesn't need one; it needs 2 or 3 additions. So I'm not Declan Rice for Liverpool. Keshav, I know you want to keep Declan Rice, but I think he's going to move in the summer. I just don't think we'll get him. I don't think we want him unless the price is good enough. I heard Arsenal may be after him, or Chelsea, so we'll have to see.
Okay.
Very quickly, Ram, we've spent a lot of time on this game, but I just want to talk about United Everton, man. I want you to give your word. What do you think about the game? I didn't catch the game, so let us know what you thought about the game.
No, I mean, I think this was where it was a good, coming back of a victory against Brentford. Of course, it was just 1-0, and now, of course, 2-0 victory against Everton. It was a good, perfect timing for us, because we dominated the game, from every part of the field. I think Everton was just really, really poor in that game. How many times, did Anthony manage to cross that trap, past that offside trap, on the midfield line? He made so many runs. He could have created so many chances. He could have scored himself. My only worry is that, United actually created a lot of chances in the first half. In fact, if you look at the stats, we had 21 overshots in the first half alone. That is well and good. No Premier League team has been able to top that. But our problem is we could not capitalize on all those, shots that we had. That's why our goal run is not the top, not the best. But I thought it was a very good game, well played. Everyone was just, you could see everyone's so synergized, wanting to win the game. Bruno was fantastic. Sabitzer was fantastic. Anthony was fantastic. Of course, Martial came on and scored that goal. Brilliant. I was very, very happy with the performance.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the stats. The stats showed that United were quite dominant in that game, which is interesting. I mean, Everton are a poor side, isn't it? Yeah, they're really poor side right now.
But it's sad to see them, in this slump, and they're just getting worse. It's really sad to see a team like that go down this way, to be honest.
I mean, not much to report about the game, like I said, right? Because firstly, I mean, yeah, easy win for United, I thought, based on the stats. I think the big question here is, did Rashford get injured in the game?
Yes, he's injured. He basically pulled off a groin strain.
How long is he out for?
I think he won't be available for the quarterfinals against Sevilla, so that will probably make him out for, I think, 2 or 3 games. He might not be out, but he will be available during the Premier League running, of course.
Are you sure? How long is he out for? Because I heard it's quite bad, and he could be out for 4 or 5 weeks or something like that. Is that correct, or?
No, I think maybe about 3 or 4 weeks.
3 or 4 weeks could be pivotal for United, man, because you're
Yeah,
still
well, Martial is
competing.
back. Martial is back,
I
so
mean,
I'm very
he's
confident.
not Rashford, is it? Marshall is not
Yeah,
Rashford, is
but
he?
I'm
Yeah.
I'm very
So
very confident. Have you heard of Wout Weghorst?
yeah, yeah, Weghorst indeed.
Hey,
But
that's
I think you obviously are still in the Europa League quarterfinals, I think, and then you obviously are still fighting for the Champions League spot. It's not done and dusted, right? Because Spurs are right behind you, I think.
Spurs. Yes, of
Um,
course. Newcastle are in for the better goal difference,
I
so
think
they have to.
Newcastle will. Well, I mean, they look like they're going to get third spot, but I think Spurs are behind you guys. I think Brighton is still there with a chance in or around those positions as well. I
But
don't
no,
think.
I
So I
I
mean,
think United
it's
will
still a
definitely
fight,
take
and
top four.
Rashford being out could be quite a tricky one, isn't it?
No, no, I think United will still be able to seal a top four spot. I'm very confident this season. This is going to be a
I'm
big
actually
comeback
surprised you're
for
so
the Champions
confident
League.
because it seems like all your goals recently have been scored by Rashford, and now he's out.
No, I mean, it's okay, yes, because he's been playing most of the games and he has been having those chances. And I think now with Martial back in the fray, I think he will be able to put a couple of goals into, because
Let's see,
this
man.
is where
Who's
I
your next
think.
game? Who's your next game against?
Let me see, Ari. Let me see. I have to check it out. Who is United playing next? Let me see. Nottingham Forest.
Home, away?
Away from home. Nottingham Forest
Oh,
away from home.
okay. Nottingham
That
Forest
that's gonna
fighting.
be that's gonna be a good game. I know Nottingham Forest. They're quite good at home. I think it's
No,
gonna
they're
be a
good at
tough
home, and
game.
not just that. No, they're fighting to stay in the league, right? So they're trying to keep away from relegation. So yeah, it could be a big game. Let's see how that one goes. The first game without
Yeah,
Rashford starting in a long time, right? But yeah, nothing much to
it's
talk about
okay.
the game.
Casemiro is
United flew
back.
past.
Casemiro is back. Casemiro is back. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I've never seen a team so dependent on one 32-year-old midfielder, man. He's like God for you guys.
Yeah. It's okay. He's back. He's back. It's a good thing. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to let's quickly talk about. Obviously, I mean, there are a lot of games that happened over the weekend as well, guys. Obviously, City won 4-1. Haaland again
Yeah.
at the double. Uh, Spurs got a lucky win over Brighton.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Spurs was quite
I mean,
lucky.
Spurs at home, Eugene, and they were crap. They were second best for the whole game, and they still got a win. I don't even know how. I think Brighton should have had at least one penalty, a clear cut penalty, and wow, I don't know how it didn't give the penalty.
I think I think Eugene, if I could just share with everyone, of course, when I joined Eugene, in his show Spurs U Asian TV, and talking to all the panelists who were a lot of Spurs fans over there, and I can tell you one thing: everyone was very, very upset with how the performance was. But they will take a win for sure. It's good 3 points, but you could tell that everyone is quite disappointed with the way Spurs have performed. So hopefully they
No,
get better.
it's poor, man. I saw that game; it was really poor.
Yeah,
Brighton were dominant, should have won the game, and they were playing at home as well, Spurs. So,
but I
and
guess it's
again, they
good
got
for United, lah.
lucky with the
It's good for
decisions
United
as
if they
well.
it's good for United if they play like that. It's okay. It's fine. We you can stay in fifth. We will just keep first
I mean,
first
the
spot.
thing with Spurs, right? They're still the problem is no matter how they play, they've got two of the best strikers in the league, right? In Son and Kane and Kulusevski as well. And as long as Kane is there, I mean, they'll still have a chance in every game.
Mhm.
Imagine if the Kane got injured, man. I think that team is finished. They have nothing. They're just playing some. They
Yeah,
don't even have a
but
manager now, right? They're playing under Ryan Mason and all. They don't have a director of football. Fabio
yeah.
Paratici had a global ban as well, so they're in a bit of a shambles actually. Spurs.
Mm.
Wait and watch. Wait and watch. Um, moving
But
on.
they say a Kane could be subject for United, to snap him up. So it seems that it's going to be high priority for United to get a striker like Harry Kane. So is Harry Kane going to leave? You think he's going to go to United? Hey guys, let us know. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you think.
You know what? I don't understand United as a team, man, and your transfer and recruitment strategy.
Okay.
There's so many strikers out there. There's Victor Osimhen out there who's brilliant for Napoli. Why do you guys always go for like these retirement or retirees, man? Casemiro, 31, 32 years old. Christian Eriksen, 31, 32 years old. Harry Kane, 30, 31 years old. It's like you guys it's very short-term thinking, which I'm quite surprised about. What do you think about West Ham season so far and David Moyes? West Ham are having a trash season, and David Moyes,
Yeah,
man.
it's
But
sad.
you know, one thing I'll give credit to West Ham, man. They haven't sacked David Moyes. They've kept the faith with him, even though all the other teams have been sacking their managers. They've kept the faith with him, and I think they got a win in the last game. West Ham, and if
Yeah,
I'm not
against Fulham, they
mistaken,
won 1-0. They won 1-0 against Fulham.
they're playing Arsenal next at home. West Ham against Arsenal.
Yeah,
They could have a big say in the title race, right? Because they're trying to stay in the division. They're playing at home against Arsenal. Be good to see. But I mean, yeah, poor season by West Ham. I'm not going to say I'm surprised because I think they overachieved last year. But yeah, I mean, in terms of their position, I didn't expect them to be so low. At the same time, I got to give credit to the board. They're sticking with David Moyes. They're keeping the faith, and if he pulls it
but for how
off,
long?
maybe no.
But
But
for how long?
if he pulls it off, at least it shows you that there's something about loyalty, man. There's no point in just sacking managers. So we'll just have to wait and watch how that
Mhm.
transpires. All right, Ram. Very quickly, the Champions League happened yesterday. Before we sort of end the show today, the Champions League started off yesterday, the
Mm.
quarterfinals. Um,
Mm.
I think we had a couple of games. Inter Benfica. Inter
Mm.
Milan won the first leg 2-0 away at Benfica,
Yep.
which was a brilliant result, by the way, because Benfica haven't lost in the Champions League this season yet. And then um, I want David Moyes gone, new fresh change of manager. Yeah, maybe so, man. But the grass is not always greener on the other side, my friend. So you got to be careful, man, who you opt for. So yeah, I mean,
Champions League.
um, Champions League, you're talking about, and then obviously the big game, Man City absolutely thrashed Bayern Munich 3-0.
That was a shocker.
Uh,
That was a real
actually,
shocker. I
actually,
never
actually,
expected
watching
that.
the highlights of the game, Bayern Munich had a good goal in the game. They were at 1-0. Bayern Munich were having the best chances. I thought the Leroy
Yep.
Sané came close a few times. But
Yep.
then once the second goal went in for City, and then it was game over, man. It was just a question of how many. 3-0, I think, is they've thrashed Bayern Munich, man, who are one of the favorites as well.
And you know what?
Um,
This is interesting, Harry. Bayern Munich did not concede a goal in the Champions League up till this point. I think, if I'm not mistaken, at some point they were scoring. They were winning 1-0, 5-0, 2-0. They were just scoring goals, and there was not goal conceded against them. And this is the first time they've conceded 3 goals without scoring themselves. So yeah, I'm a happy
no,
camper. Yo!
yeah, yeah, and you got to say that Man City are our favorites now, man. The way they're just going about their business, especially with Haaland now there as well. He's scoring
Yeah,
goals for
possible.
fun.
I think
I think they're favorites for the Champions League.
I think they are.
Let's
I
pick a
think they are.
winner, Ram. Let's pick a winner.
Mm,
Let's pick the
okay.
semi. Who? Let's pick who do you think is going to make the semi-finals, and after that, I want a winner from you as well.
Okay, I'm definitely okay with 3
So
nil up. I think.
first game, City Bayern Munich.
But you mean to predict the score or predict the winner?
No, predict the winner. Who goes to the
City,
semi-final?
City,
All right, Inter Milan, Benfica.
Inter Milan,
Okay, Chelsea,
mm,
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, easy.
Real Madrid, interesting, and then AC Milan, Napoli.
Oh shit, this is interesting, man. This is a tough one. I want Napoli. Yeah, I think I'm going to win Napoli.
Okay, and then I think actually I'm going to go with something similar. But for me, it's Man City to go through, Inter Milan to go through, and then Real Madrid to go through against Chelsea, and then Napoli, because I think Napoli are one of the best teams in the Champions League. I
No,
fancy
they
them to
are.
win the whole thing. Yep. So I'm going to
I
go
hope they
first.
win.
My prediction is for Napoli to win the Champions League. They're
Mm,
fantastic. They're one of the best teams in Europe this year. They've got one of the best strikers in Europe, one of the best wingers in the world in Quaradona. They call him, right?
mm,
The Maradona replicate. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Kvaratskhelia, the Georgian. And then they have Victor Osimhen up front as well. Good midfield,
mm.
solid manager, really good attacking football. For me, Napoli to win the Champions League. What about you, Ram?
I think if you didn't pick Napoli, I would have as well. But I think just to make it a bit more interesting, just spice it all up. I think I'm going to go with Real Madrid again.
Real Madrid to win it again. How boring is that?
Yeah.
What do you think about Frank Lampard's appointment as Chelsea caretaker manager? I don't know what to say about this, man.
Chelsea, I'm so sorry, guys. I mean, I have nothing against the club, I have nothing against, but they've been behaving like clowns.
Hmm.
Seriously. I mean, I don't know what is this game about. You spend 300 over million, you bring in all the players in, you bring in Graham Potter, and then you sack Graham Potter, and then you bring back the manager that you sacked because he wasn't performing, and
No,
then
but it
just to
wasn't.
take
They
care of the
they didn't
club.
sack him, right? The ex or the old owners, Abramovich sacked Frank Lampard.
Yeah, but still, he was sacked. That's the point. And now you bring him back again, just to take care of him all over, and possibly with who's that guy, Julian Nagelsmann, could be someone that could take over in the future. I mean, honestly speaking, this is where I just don't understand how can a club run like that. It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't, and it frustrates me to some extent. I mean, I'm not a Chelsea fan. Honestly, Chelsea can do Chelsea. They can do whatever they want. But in terms of the context of football, I think that's just plain ridiculous. This shows how
I think they have
ah
just I think they've just done this to appease the fans, right? Because the fans were growing annoyed, and they had to make a change. They had to get rid of Graham Potter, and then they couldn't probably get their main target, because I think they want to be careful with their selection. I mean, I agree with you; they're a bunch of clowns. I'm just trying to see what was going on in their head, but I think they just felt that they can't get Julian Nagelsmann or any of the other top managers in now. So hence they had to get a caretaker in whilst they were interviewing the rest, which is why I think they brought in Frank Lampard, because they know the fans won't turn on Frank Lampard. They'll support him. So I think it's a short-term thing, and they've done this to appease the fans and at the same time to give them a bit of time to make the right managerial appointment. So I think that's why they have done it.
But
But
what do
yeah,
you think,
interesting.
Hari? But what do you think? Let me ask you this: what do you think, of all the money they've spent on the players? That is, probably what Potter wanted. He got the players that he wanted. And now it's gone. A new manager coming in again. What's going to happen to all these players? I mean, I don't think the next manager is going to use all of them. It's going to be a real. I don't know. It's going to be very messy in it.
I don't know, man, but even Graham Potter didn't make these player selections anyway. In any case, the players were bought not by Graham Potter; they were bought by the director of football. It was very clear that he didn't have
Mm,
much of a say. So I think Chelsea, that's how they're going to operate. Even when they hire a manager, they're going to tell them, "Listen, we are going to make the recruitment of players,
mm.
and you just focus on the training and the football." But it's a weird way of working. The manager has to have a say. So I don't know, man. It just looks a bit of a mess.
So that looks like the only football club in the world that does that. I
I don't
mean,
know.
as
It's a
far as I know.
a new bunch of owners who've got no clue about football. That's what happens. Anyway, Keshav says he thinks Real Madrid will win the Champions League. Eugene says Pep will go to the final and give the title to Arsenal. I actually looking at it the other way, Eugene. I'm looking at it the other way, Eugene. Many people are saying this, right? That Pep is going to focus on the Champions League and then Arsenal win the league. But look at this, right? Man City could win the treble this year. So they might be going for the treble. They could win the Champions League, FA Cup, and the Premier League. And the only team to have done that before is Man United. So they could very well be going for the treble this year. So I think that's their
I think
motivation.
United will stop them at their tracks at the FA Cup. Very certain of it.
Interesting comment as well, Keshav. Yeah, I mean, they need a proper recruitment process. Agreed on a lot of things. But yeah, I think the manager has to have a say on selection.
Has to.
Chelsea history of manager only short-term basis. Yeah, everything short-term. Good example of be careful what you wish for. Fans always want the owners to spend. They did. Agreed, man. This is a really good point, man. You always want your owners to spend, and Chelsea just threw money, but in the end, they've got players that no one really wants. Graham Potter didn't want, got Graham Potter the sack. They're not getting any results. They lost to Wolves as well, right, over the weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I think they've gone about it the wrong way. You got to spend money, but spend it the right way. I'm going to give a really good example here. I think Newcastle are brilliant.
Oh yeah. I
They've
think
got
I was
all the
thinking about the
money
same
in the
thing.
world, but they're spending it really wisely. They're not throwing the money. Just every player they've bought is turned out to be a real success, man. Isaac, not one of these blockbuster signings with Isaac, Bruno Guimaraes, Dan Burn,
Mm.
Pope, really top quality signings. I think Newcastle have really gone about it the right way. Liverpool used to go about it the right way, but Newcastle, with all the money they have now, they're doing the absolute business in
Yeah,
terms of spending the money.
they're not just going shopping, right? I mean, they're not going on a shopping spree. They're smart. They know exactly what they want. They focus on the areas that they want to improve. They get those players in, and I mean, who knows? Next season, yes, of course, it's open for them to look at it better. But I think, yeah, you're right, man. Whatever they're doing right now is just so admirable, so
I'm going to
inspirational.
throw this out there now, man. I'm 100% Klopp in, but in the future, as and when Klopp leaves, because Klopp's contract is due to expire in 2025 or 26, at which point in
Eddie
time
Howe.
he's definitely leaving. I would like Eddie Howe to come to Liverpool because I think he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. He used to manage Bournemouth, and his Bournemouth team used to play brilliant football, but people used to say they couldn't defend. So he was very attacking. So what did Eddie Howe do once he lost the job at Bournemouth, or once he left Bournemouth? Apparently, he went and learned from a lot of managers. He went and spent time with a lot of managers, including Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid. Now,
Mm.
Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone, anyone who knows, play a very defensive game of football.
Oh
They're
yeah,
very
yep.
defense minded. They don't really
Hard to
attack. And I
score
think
against
and I
them.
think what he wanted to learn from Diego Simeone was the defensive side of the game and how he sets his teams up defensively, how Diego Simeone gets his teams to waste time. Gamesmanship, right? They feign some injuries, they waste a bit of time, they slow the game down. And he used all this knowledge to come back uh, and you know and
Apply
come
in
back
Newcastle.
and basically implement in Newcastle. And now Newcastle, well, Eddie Howe always used to have good attack, but now they're brilliant in attack and they are one of the best defenses in the league. So he's
Yeah,
got the right
yeah.
blend in, which is why I think he's a brilliant manager, man. He was very humble enough to go and learn, and he's come back and he looks really, really good. I mean, I would love him as a Liverpool manager in about 3 or 4 years' time. One Klopp moves on, obviously. Good point. If they get UCL, scary stuff there. 100%, man. Definitely part of the top 7 the coming years. I'm no excuse of them not to compete. Now, not to compete. Newcastle, if they get scary
Definitely
stuff,
Newcastle will be in the
100%.
Champions League next
No,
season for
I
sure.
100% BC agree. We are all Liverpool fans are. None of us are Klopp out. I mean, it's all about FSG who have disappointed and let him down. So now we're 100% backing him to get it right. If the players are bought, he's going through a midterm crisis. Give him 1-2 months in team refresh. Bam. I say give him 1 season, man. I say next year, if we get the right signings in the summer in midfield, I think we're ready to go again. It's because of many things. Spending on the right players, team has physicality, pace, quality in regards to attacking and hunger. And again, this is about quality recruitment, right? They have not just recruited big names, they've recruited right players for the right positions, and they're playing the right way, man. And I'm going to even add, man, Eddie Howe, that he's that good a manager. He's improved players, and that's a good sign of a manager.
Yes, yes.
Sean Longstaff in midfield. I mean, no one wants him in the top 6. But look at him. He's now transformed under Eddie Howe. Plays brilliantly in midfield whenever he's called upon. Joe Willock
Yeah.
is an Arsenal reject. He's scoring goals for fun, playing a brilliant role in midfield for Newcastle. Bruno Guimaraes, great signing. LSA Maxima, Alexander Isak,
Oh,
man. What a signing for 60 or 70 million pounds, Isak. I mean, he's been brilliant as a striker. Dan Burn in defense, as a left back, he's employing him. Sven Botman in defense, one hell of a brilliant centre back that he picked up as well. So, I mean, kudos to the recruitment, but kudos to Eddie Howe. I think he's one of the best managers in the league, and I'm going to say that again.
yeah. I
But
mean,
anyway,
if he can,
guys,
if his icing on
go
the
ahead.
cake is, of course, if he takes Newcastle into the Champions League, which I think he will, that is just going to be brilliant. It'll be so exciting to watch how they compete, in that league. Amazing stuff.
I mean, they've
Amazing,
got some
amazing
tough
stuff.
games. Got some tough games coming up, but I think they will make the Champions League, and if they do, with the money they have from Saudi Arabia, I think it's going to be mad, man. It's going to be crazy stuff under Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, it's been brilliant. Ram, it's been a brilliant session, isn't it?
Yes, it's been a brilliant session. Thank you so much, Keshav, Eugene, BC, everyone, for chipping in with your thoughts and your comments, of course. And of course, for the rest of you, of course, continue to subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and of course, let us know what you think. Let us know in your comments what are your opinions about your club. And of course, very, very soon, sometime in a week or so, maybe later, we will actually be inviting some guests on the show. Let's have some fun. Let's rock and roll.
Agreed, man. Agreed. And guys, catch us soon. We'll come back with a review of the weekend's games again. Some big games coming up this weekend as well. So yeah, let's look forward to none bigger, I think, than West Ham Arsenal. Let's see how Arsenal respond against a West Ham team that needs the points as well. It's going to be
really, fun. Really cool. Keshav, keep a lookout, man. I hopefully West Ham does something, pull off a miracle, and does something magical. It'd be awesome. All right. So Hari, anything you want to say before we go?
No, nothing else. Over to you, Ram.
All right. So guys, thank you for tuning in to the Plot Malaysia once again. So once again, signing off from the Plot Malaysia. This is the show for the fans.
By the fans.
Cheers.